Okay, so this is just a quick video of 3.1 relations and functions. So a couple definitions. Relations, the set of ordered pairs. Function is a relation in which each element of the domain corresponds with exactly one element in the range. Domain is the possible values for the inputs of a relation or function. Remember, domain is all x values. The range is the possible values for the outputs of the relation or function. So range is all y values. Let's talk about domain and range notation. You have the inequality notation, which would be something like 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 5. That means your domain would be 0, anything from 0 to 5. If it was infinity, you'd have negative infinity is less than y is less than positive infinity. If it does not include the number, you do not put the or equal. So like if you have infinities, that will never be or equal to. Interval notation is the same thing. It's dealing with parentheses. So, for example, 0 less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 5, you would write that as a hard bracket here, 0, 5, and another hard bracket because the 0 and 5 are included. If I'm going to write it, the range is negative infinity to infinity, it would be a parentheses, negative infinity, comma, infinity, parentheses. Now the set would just simply be the set of numbers. So 1, 2, 4, 9, whatever the set may be. Okay? Vertical line test, if a vertical line intersects the graph in more than one place at a time, it is not a function. We'll go over this here more shortly. So my first example is I need to define the domain, the range, and if it's a function. I'm going to do the domain and range in set form because we're not given, typically you're going to do the interval or the inequality if it's like a graph. These are set numbers, so that's what we're going to use. So for my domain, I have my x values are negative 2, 3, 1, and 0. I'm going to change my color for my range. I have 3, negative 2. I do not have to repeat the number, so it's just 3, negative 2. Is this a function? Do any of my x's repeat? No, so yes, it is a function. All right, let's look at this one. 3, negative 2, negative 2, 3, 3, 1, negative 2, 0. So my domain is 3, negative 2. Again, if there's numbers that repeat, I don't repeat them. My range is negative 2, 3, 1, 0. Is this a function? 3, negative 2. Oh, 3 and 3 repeat. Negative 2 repeat. So no, it is not a function. 3 repeats. And negative 2 repeats in the x value. Okay, you will also have something that is called mapping. So in class, I explained this like it was an airplane. If I'm going to Philly, my airplane, Delta 1234, is only going to Philly. Okay, it's not, my plane is not breaking into two planes and going to Philly and New York. It's only going to Philly. So that means now a plane, a Delta plane and a Southwest plane could be both going to Philly, but that's not the same plane. So this is kind of how we look at it. Our domain, again, is this part right here, the first one. Our range would be the second. So our domain is 1, 3, 5, 7. Our range is negative 1, 4, and 6. Now, If I get confused by looking at this, you can rewrite it as ordered pairs. So it'd be 1, -1, because the 1 is going to -1, 3, 4, 5, 4, and 7, 6. You can rewrite it like that, no problem. I can look at my x's, either here, there's no repetition, or I can look here and I don't have that one number going to two different y's. So yes, this is a function. Now let's look at this one. I have 3 to -2, 1 to 0, and then I have 0 to -1 and to 0. So this would be my plane to Philly cannot go to both two places. So this would not be a function. If I were to write it as ordered pairs, I'd have 3, -2, 1, 0, 0, -1, and 0, 0. So my domain would be 3, 1, 0. And my range is -2, 1, 0. Now you could also have a table. We're going to do the same thing here. The table states I want my domain, my range, and if it's a function. So my domain is my inputs or my x's. So my domain is 1, 2, 3, 4. My range is just going to be 3, 4. Do any of my x's or my inputs repeat? No. So it is a function. Now this one's a little bit different because I have words. So I'm going to look here for my domain. I have red, blue, and yellow. For my range, I have rose, sky, sun, and ocean. Looking at my input, I do have two that repeat. So it is not a function. Looking at C, my domain is A, B, C, D. My range is lowercase a, lowercase b, lowercase c, lowercase d. There's no repeating in my input, so it is a function. All right, so now we're going to look for a vertical line test. I'm just going to use a ruler, possibly. Okay, and we're going to look at this line here. So we're going to go through and see if more than one spot hits on the graph hits this line. So right here, you can see these dots hit this ruler, two different at the same time. Okay? So that means if I have a vertical line, it hits both of those spots. So this is not a function in F. Now, if I look at this one, I'm going through, ooh, right there. If I draw a vertical line here, it goes 1, 2, 3 spots at once. So again, that's not a function. Now let's look at this horizontal line. It is only hitting it once at a time. So that means it is a function. Okay, now if we look at D, that's one line. A vertical line is not a function. E, good, good, good. Oh, multiple spots right there. Oh, right there. So this one's not a function. We go through this. F is a function. I hope this helps, and make sure you ask if you have any questions.